Good morning. I am Dr. Mahamadou Belem from Burkina Faso. I am going to present you our work development of an integrated framework for knowledge sharing and integration on land use and land management in West Africa. For this presentation, I will present you the motivation of this work, the objectives, the research approach, the current result, and I will finish by a conclusion. Our work is about land use and land management in West Africa, and as you know, land use and land management have many impacts on our livelihood. For example, water pollution. It is very important to understand this impact for the development of a relevant policy for our socio-economic development. Many scientists from various disciplines are working in the area of land use and land management. The scientists obtain their data in different formats and in most times without any connection among them. The fact that there is no connection among these data makes difficult the understanding of land use and land management impact. For example, if I have data on land management strategies and data on soil properties, if I have no link between these two data, it will be very difficult to understand the impact of land management strategy on soil property change in this location. In addition, the data are collected and used in short-term research projects which later formalize plan of release. Pragmatic solution for coping with fragment and short-term research effort could be standard for data open accesses, storage format, and maintenance over time. Open access data make knowledge acquisition and sharing easier. However, the acquisition, integration, and sharing of data from different actors and sources come up against a range of issues. How one can build a common understanding for communities of stakeholders of various origin and background actors for building a shared understanding of terms regarding land use and land management domain and associated data. How one can overcome the various obstacles due to accessibility differences, discipline gaps, and other practical gaps for providing equitability among these actors regarding data access and loading, especially for countries facing infrastructure concerns such as in Africa. To face with various challenges, we need an integrated framework. The objective of this work is to propose an integrated framework for knowledge acquisition, sharing, and integration on land use and land management in West Africa. Specifically, we aim to take account the explicit representation of the main term in the land use and land management sectors and the associated data, to represent explicitly the relationship between the main term and the data, to put the main terms and data accessible to different actors from different disciplines and location. What is the approach of our research? Firstly, I'm going to present you the scope of the study. Land use and land management have four components: social component, economic component, environmental component, and a policy component. Our study is about these four components. Then in social component, we take account the collective management, land tenure, social organism, land use, and so on. In economic dimension, we take account community practices, access to markets, and so on. In environmental component, we take account description of soil, biodiversity, and climate. And the policy component, we take account of infrastructure development, intensive for environment conservation, food production, and so on. Our integrated framework is composed by three layers: conceptual model layers, a data layers, and data access layer. The conceptual model layer provides description and representation of the main term regarding land use and land management. For example, the conceptual model layers provide definition of forests in different countries of West Africa. And the conceptual model has been developed using ontology and to protege. The data layer is an integrated database that contains both the ontology and the data, and we use for that OntoDB. OntoDB is a data management system for that allow to manage both ontology and data in a same database. A OntoDB has been developed using PostgreSQL data management system. Finally, the data access layer provide allow to various actors from various locations to access to the data and our ontology. For that, we have developed a semantic wiki using MediaWiki. As a result, the integrated framework has been developed using 3 steps. The first step concern development of the conceptual model layer. For that, we did a review of literature. We used existing ontology, database, model, and point of view from actors. The ontology has been used to develop the data layer, and the integrated database and the ontology have been used to develop our wiki semantic. As a result, I'm going to present you the ontology on land use and land management. Our ontology is composed of 7 components: soil, land management component, climate component, crop component, household component, forest management component, and livestock component. For example, I have here the description of a household component. I would like to say the ontology related to the household component. Here we have the different terms that we need to describe a household in West Africa. Now I'm going to present you our integrated database. The integrated database is composed of 4 parts. The first part is a system catalog that provides description of our system. After, in the second part of our integrated database, we have a meta description of our database, and the third part provides description of the ontology, and the last part, the fourth part, contains our data. And the data and the ontology are linked. Then we have an explicit description of each data that we have in the integrated database. Here we have a table that contains the main terms of our ontology, some terms of our ontology, and each term is described both in English and in French. Then the first column provides description of a main term of the term related to the household component. Then we have household population, equipment, building, and so on. And we have the definition in French and in English. Here we have the properties related to the main term of our ontology. And the properties are described both in English and in French. And now I'm going to present you our semantic wiki that make accessible our terms and data for various actors in different locations in the world. This user interface provides the description of the main terms of our ontology. Then one can show the description of the definition of each term in our ontology using this user interface. Here I have a user interface that one can use to put data in our integrated database. That is a real integrated framework for knowledge sharing and integration on land use and land management. And finally, I have a user interface that one can use to extract data from our integrated database for a specific use. As I said previously, we have a very good framework for knowledge integration and sharing on land use and management in West Africa. The resulting framework could be used by various actors. Then it could be used by the decision makers in development and implementation of land use and land management strategies. It could be used by the scientists to access data and assess the impact of land use and land management on to assess the impact of land use and land management on major ecosystem service. It could be also used by local stakeholders as support for innovation and experience sharing. But the work is not finished. We need to improve our semantic wiki, also to put it on internet to make easier the accessibility of our integrated framework. As future work also, the integrated framework developed in this study will be linked to a simulation tool for sharing simulation results. Thank you very much. If you have a question, I am available to answer to these different questions. Thank you very much.